Have you ever felt overshadowed, born into a legacy so vast it threatens to erase your own identity? Imagine being the daughter of the man who built Walmart, the world's largest retailer. Most would assume a life of ease, a path paved with gold. But for Alice Walton, the heiress to an empire, the journey was never about inheriting a fortune. It was about forging her own, a path riddled with private storms and public scrutiny. A quest to prove that her greatest wealth wasn't the money she was born into, but the vision she would build for herself. This is the story of how the quiet rebel of the Walton family found her own voice, not in the aisles of a superstore, but in the silent halls of art and the untamed landscapes of her own heart. Part 1. The Struggles. Like a young eagle nested high in a fortress of wealth, Alice Walton's early life was one of privilege, but also of immense pressure. Born in 1949, she was the youngest child and only daughter of Sam and Helen Walton. While her brothers were groomed to take over the family business, Alice was different. She was spirited, independent, and drawn to a world far from corporate boardrooms. Her father, Sam, a titan of industry, famously said, "I'm not sure Alice is going to be able to find herself." It wasn't a criticism, but a father's honest concern for his daughter's unconventional path. She found her early passion not in retail, but in the rugged beauty of the Ozarks, riding horses and connecting with nature. This love for freedom defined her. After graduating from Trinity University with a degree in economics and finance, she didn't just walk into a corner office at Walmart. Instead, she embarked on a winding career path, a series of ventures that seemed almost designed to test her limits. She worked as an equity analyst, a money manager, and even a broker for E.F. Hutton. Each step was a move away from the shadow of Walmart, an attempt to carve out her own financial identity. But the path was far from smooth. In 1988, with the spirit of her entrepreneurial father, she founded her own investment bank, Llama Company. It was a bold move, a declaration of independence. For nearly a decade, she steered the company, serving as president, chairwoman, and CEO. But the financial world is a turbulent sky, and even for a Walton, success is not guaranteed. After a decade of navigating the volatile markets, Llama Company closed its doors in the late 1990s. For many, this would have been a public failure, a sign to retreat to the safety of the family empire. But for Alice, it was a lesson, not a loss. Her personal life was also marked by storms. A series of serious car accidents left her with lasting injuries and chronic pain, a constant physical battle she had to endure. One tragic accident in 1989 resulted in the death of a pedestrian. It was a devastating event that would cast a long shadow over her life, a private grief she carried away from the public eye. These weren't the struggles of building a business. They were the struggles of life itself, pain, loss, and the weight of responsibility. Through it all, she was like an eagle facing a relentless storm, battered by winds and shrouded in darkness, forced to find a strength she never knew she had. It was in these moments of profound difficulty, in the quiet aftermath of her setbacks, that the true direction of her life began to take shape. She was learning that some storms are not meant to be escaped, but to be flown through. Part 2. The Rise. Every great story has a turning point, a moment when the protagonist, forged in the fires of adversity, rises with a new clarity and purpose. For Alice Walton, this rise wasn't a sudden ascent, but a gradual, deliberate flight towards a vision that had been quietly growing within her for decades. The closure of Llama Company and her personal trials didn't break her. They clarified her mission. Her passion wasn't just in making money, but in what money could create. Her love for art, nurtured since she was a young girl who bought her first Picasso reproduction with her allowance, became her guiding star. While the world saw her as a financial powerhouse, Alice was quietly becoming one of the most significant art collectors of her generation. She wasn't just acquiring art. She was studying it, living with it, and understanding its power to connect, heal, and inspire. She saw that in a world obsessed with commerce, there was a deep hunger for beauty and culture. This vision culminated in a project so ambitious, so audacious, that many in the art world dismissed it as a billionaire's folly. She wanted to build a world-class American art museum not in New York or Los Angeles, but in the heart of the Ozarks in Bentonville, Arkansas, the very town where her father started his empire. She envisioned a place where people from all walks of life, people who might never set foot in a major metropolitan museum, could experience the grand story of America through its art. In 2011, after years of meticulous planning, collecting, and construction, the Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art opened its doors. It was nothing short of revolutionary. Nestled in a 120-acre forest, the stunning architectural marvel became an instant landmark. More importantly, Alice made a groundbreaking decision. General admission would be free. This wasn't just a museum. It was a gift. It was her way of democratizing art, of breaking down the barriers of exclusivity and sharing its transformative power with everyone. The impact was immediate and profound. Crystal Bridges transformed Bentonville from a company town into a cultural destination. It brought economic vitality, tourism, and a new sense of pride to the region. But Alice's vision didn't stop there. She recognized that health and well-being were intrinsically linked to art and nature. In 2020, she announced her next monumental project, the Whole Health Institute, located on the campus of Crystal Bridges. Its mission is to create a new model for healthcare in America, one that is holistic, affordable, and focused on well-being, not just treating sickness. She was no longer just an art collector. She was a social architect, using her immense resources to build a healthier, more beautiful world. Like the eagle that uses the storm to soar, Alice Walton had taken the turbulence of her past, the pressure of her name, the failures of her business, the pain of her personal life, and used it to lift her vision to unimaginable heights. She had finally found herself, not by escaping her legacy, but by redefining it. Part 3. The Life Lessons. The life of Alice Walton is a powerful testament to a profound truth. Your circumstances do not define your destiny. Her story offers us a masterclass in building a life of meaning, not on the foundation of what you are given, but on the vision of who you can become. The first lesson is the courage to forge your own path. Born into a world of retail, she chose a world of art and philanthropy. She teaches us that true fulfillment comes not from following the expected path, but from daring to listen to the unique calling of your own soul, even if no one else understands it. The second lesson is the transformative power of resilience. Alice faced business closures and deep personal tragedies. Yet, she never allowed her setbacks to become her identity. She embodies the spirit of the eagle in the storm. It doesn't flee from the turbulence. It harnesses the wind beneath its wings to rise higher. Our struggles, our failures, our deepest pains, they are not meant to destroy us. They are the atmospheric pressures that, if we face them with courage, can lift us to a higher plane of purpose and understanding. Your scars are not signs of weakness, but symbols of the battles you have survived. Finally, Alice Walton's greatest legacy is a lesson in the art of giving. She transformed her personal passion into a public treasure, creating a space of beauty and learning for millions. Her work with the Whole Health Institute shows a commitment to healing not just canvases, but communities. She teaches us that true wealth is not measured by what you accumulate, but by what you contribute. The greatest value of our resources, whether they be great or small, lies in their ability to enrich the lives of others. So, as you look at your own life with its own unique set of storms and challenges, remember the story of Alice Walton. Remember the eagle soaring not in spite of the storm, but because of it. You were not born to be defined by your family, your job, or your past failures. You were born to create, to build, and to find your own unique way of making the world a more beautiful place. No matter how dark the sky may seem, no matter how fierce the winds may blow, you have within you the strength to rise above it. You were born to soar. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If this story inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that empowers you to build your own legacy. Until next time, keep believing in your vision and never stop flying.